it. Okay, here it is. All right, here is some video here.
Hey guys, bringing you back here. I want to get you updated. Sounds like we may have Tyler, and I want to get you updated on that burglary that turned into a homicide in DeKalb County. So we know that this unfolded Saturday night. Tyler, I see you standing out there, and I know you've been talking to neighbors. Can you let us know what happened here?
Yeah, Ariel, good afternoon to you. Investigators say a woman was shot and killed in the front yard of her own home. She apparently was confronting burglars. I want to highlight something for you right now. If you're looking at the street, those are some tire marks on the road that lead to the front yard. Investigators say the woman popped the curve and drove onto the lawn where she was shot. Let's go to video that police released today of the moments apparent burglars gunned down a DeKalb County woman in the front yard of her home at around 10:30 Saturday night on Citation Drive, which is not far from the I-20 and 285 junction. DeKalb County police say the victim, identified as 36-year-old Anna Scott, may have seen 3 suspects on her door.
Damn. Imagine coming home to 3 YNs. Have mercy. Have mercy. I'd have kept rolling. I'd have kept rolling and called police. Why? I'd have kept rolling. Fuck this.
Doorbell camera trying to break into her home before she confronted them. In the video, you can see one of the suspects is armed with what appears to be a crowbar and another with a gun. The video shows the moment she pulled up on them with her Jeep and the suspect shooting her while still in her vehicle. Police found her Jeep with multiple bullet holes in it. DeKalb police say it's releasing the video and this picture and the pictures and hope someone can help turn the 3 suspects in. If you know anything, you're asked to call DeKalb County Police. Take a listen to what some neighbors have to say.
Just pulled up and went inside, shut the door. As soon as I got inside, made a few steps inside, put my bags down. I heard and I heard a car screech off and something hit the curb. It seemed like, so by the time I got out, everything was over. And a few minutes later, the police would come in, and I went out to get something out the car, and that's when I noticed the car up there, and it was all over. But, you know, we heard it, but we didn't see anything.
That's very shocking because this is a quiet neighborhood, and nobody hardly getting in any trouble around here. So I don't understand what happened. You know,
Don't nobody get no trouble in DeKalb County. Okay.
You say she came home and caught burglars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I can say I hope I'm prepared if they try that with my house.
Yeah, incredibly shocking for neighbors to hear exactly what happened. As we come back out here live, you are looking at the front patio, the front area of the home where all of this unfolded. That bush is where those, at least one of the suspects kind of came around, according to that video, before then staying against the wall. The other one using that crowbar, or trying to use that crowbar on the door before all of this happened. And then there's also a doorbell camera that's right there, which captured all of this. And we got a good look at one of the suspects, and police are hoping someone might be able to recognize them so that they're able to bring them into custody and charge them with a crime in this case, because they very much say this was a crime, a burglary that turned into a homicide.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, down south, look, my cousin, I had friends, like these houses, I'm surprised they just didn't go through the window, through the back of the house. Because they could easily just walk around to the back and conceal and break right in the house. You see this a lot down south, or at least I've seen it with people I've known. I had a good friend of mine, I've told the story on the channel. He had to move out of his house in Atlanta. They kicked the door in his. My cousin, he was living in Southwest Clayton County, Atlanta. Same thing. Home breaking is a big thing up there, down there. I don't see that much up here. But, you know, as you can see, this is like a one-level rancher type in.
Aside, a family member did come out here to the scene, a relative. She didn't tell us exactly how she was related to Anna Scott, but they say that they're shocked that this happened and they're still trying to process all of this. Again, if you look at that video, we have it on fox5atlanta.com and on our Fox Local app. If you are able to recognize these people or know who did this? DeKalb County Police really want to hear from you. Ariel?
Yeah, Tyler, this is incredible. I think a question I have that comes to mind is looking at this video and to think that she saw these burglars on her Ring camera, just her doorbell camera, right? And then goes to confront them. Have police told you anything? Is there any indication that she may have known who these men were? Have you heard of anything of that nature?
No, DeKalb County Police released the video along with one picture in an email this morning, along with about maybe a paragraph of information along with the request from us to put this out to everyone who's watching.
Indication that she may have known who these men were. Have you heard of anything of that nature?
Oh, you can see the headlight. Look at this shit.
DeKalb County Police released.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What's up, Cameron? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck is this lady.
The video along with one picture in an email this morning, along with maybe a paragraph of information, along with the requests from us to put this out to everyone who's watching our programs to be able to turn them in. And that was not mentioned at all anywhere in that blurb they put out, whether she knew these suspects, whether she was targeted. I mean, obviously, a lot of people who live in this area very shocked about this. And you'd have to think, multiple people said that no, these alleged burglars didn't go to any other home that they know. So the question obviously becomes at this point, was this a targeted attack? Because in this case, obviously, she ended up on the front yard of her home, and then they started shooting, and that happened in such a quick amount of time. The question has to become whether this was a targeted shooting. That's something that DeKalb County Police have not answered. I did ask them if they would have a detective available to talk with us today. They politely declined earlier this afternoon.
Tyler, thanks for giving us that context, because that's exactly where my mind went. You know, obviously, we don't know yet, right? This could be completely random, and it's up to us to ask those questions and try to get the answers from police. So thanks so much for letting us in on your process. My heart goes out to her family. I can't imagine trying to confront burglars and then, of course, losing your life in the process. So we'll wait to hear more from police. But Tyler Fingert, in the meantime, thank you so much for your digging on this story. We appreciate it.
Damn, that is crazy. Coming home and fucking shot like that. Amazing. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a big thing down in Atlanta, man. At least from the people I've known. I've known several people who had that problem. And, you know, a good buddy of mine, he, or used to be a good buddy of mine, he really put a crunch on his marriage and everything, considering the financial pressure to have to like move and stuff like that. It really like tore his whole family up there. Yeah, here's a clip going by Young Boy here. They're threatening Young Boy here.
NBA Young Boy show been canceled, man, in the city, man. And a lot of people think that he canceled his show. Shorty did not cancel his show, man. And I knew the police was going to cancel it, man. The police, they didn't get.
And so he's saying that the police canceled the show. In reality, the United Center cancels popular concert, refunds ticket days before a rapper was to perform there. Here's some reacts here. I promise you, I had never, I don't even know one of these songs. I tried to listen to some of this shit. It's just unlistenable. I couldn't listen to it, to be honest with you. Here's some reacts, I guess, of people reacting to Young Boy not performing here.
I called my college roommate.
21 seconds here, 21 seconds. But apparently, he's a very successful rapper. Sin 7 was saying he's out of Utah, but I think he's actually from Shreveport or something like that. How he ended up in Utah, I'm not sure, but you got to tip your hat to him. Whatever he's doing in the music industry is working very well. And here, oh, damn, yikes. Did I do that? All right. Yeah, I fucked up. Let me try this again. Let's see what they're saying about this NBA Youngboy. I think the United Center canceled the event. Let me see what this says. I'm pretty sure the United Center. But damn, that's a pretty big event for him to perform. NBA Youngboy. Yeah, NBA King Von's sister, Kaylee B, reacts to his Did she release a video? So I guess she's happy about it. Let's see. Let's see if this video is playing. Oh, here it is.
Of race and media at the University of South Carolina, Dr. Jabari Evans. Thanks so much for being here.
This is amazing.
Thank you for having
People
me.
talking about this shit.
So Dr. Evans is going to speak to us a little bit about something we've just learned not that long ago. The United Center recently canceled NBA YoungBoy's concert, which was scheduled for tomorrow. The United Center did not give out any reason for this, but we have seen other incidents at other concert venues across the country where violence did break out at some of these NBA YoungBoy concerts. And Dr. Evans is going to lead us and give us a little bit of perspective on what we're seeing here. So first, I want to start with just how familiar are you with NBA YoungBoy? And could you explain to our viewers, how would you describe his music?
Well, I'll say NBA YoungBoy is someone who is an internet sensation. He's someone whose music kind of has sprouted out from what one would call the underground. But he comes from a tradition that is actually very much associated with drill rap, which is actually a subgenre of hip hop that was birthed on the south side of Chicago. The interesting thing about it is he's sort of taken it, making it his own, and he's become very popular. And, you know, it's one of those things where we see someone like NBA YoungBoy being the transition between artists that go through the traditional industry, major label pipeline to someone who is able to use social media platforms and streaming services to their own advantage and cultivate a real dedicated and loyal fan base. And I would say he's probably the poster child for that era of sort of music.
What was your reaction when you found out that his concert here in Chicago at the United Center was going to be canceled?
I kind of was under the impression that if they were going to cancel it, they should have never booked the concert in the first place, because there's been a very tenuous relationship between the city of Chicago and this genre that I've talked to you about, drill music. And beyond that, you know, there's been a public feud between NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk, who's a local star who has a lot of reputation in the Chicagoland area, in particular his local area, which is titled O Block. Titled after the slain young man Odie Perry, who passed away at, I believe, 14 years old. And you know, they've had these public feuds back and forth. NBA YoungBoy's kind of camp and entourage, as well as Lil Durk's camp and entourage. And there's been a lot of back and forth, and there's been a lot of conversation and discourse online about, you know, if NBA YoungBoy were to ever have a tour date in Chicago, that it would be disrupted, and that it would be disrupted violently. And so I think that's something that I know the city of Chicago takes seriously and doesn't take lightly. But I think there's also this underlying capitalist motive of wanting to sort of cash in on the popularity of both of these artists and hopefully sell out an arena. But, you know, I think that there's also some real world implications on public safety.
So basically, his concert was canceled in a pretty big city. He won't get a chance to monetize it. The vendors and all those people, they lost out
to bear here.
And you mentioned popularity. Obviously, if you're getting a chance to book a tour date at the United Center, they think that you're going to be able to sell a lot of tickets here. What do you think this cancellation should say to, I guess, NBA YoungBoy's fans, who of course paid their money and we're looking forward to seeing him tomorrow?
This is an unfortunate thing to me, because I think what ends up happening here is hip hop is becoming a scapegoat more broadly in mainstream media. But I think what goes on here is that NBA YoungBoy's fans are now labeled and stigmatized as being sort of associated with being the wrong crowd or being sort of the wrong type of fan, when, you know, I think the United Center is always going to have artists that show up and sell out the venue. But I think it says something when people from hip hop, those who come from marginalized communities, low income backgrounds, are able to sort of make their way through the ranks, especially in the way that NBA YoungBoy has done so. And for that opportunity to sort of be snatched away, you know, due to something that I would say is about clout chasing, politics, bureaucracy, and in some ways, empty threats, potentially, it's unfortunate, because that becomes the narrative around someone who is a phenomenal artist who makes great music. And now we're sort of shifting the focus away from that artistry into what could potentially be a public safety issue.
This guy's name is Jabari or something, right? It's Jabari.
Glad you mentioned the safety issue there. I guess going forward, how do you feel like maybe the city of Chicago, whether it's the United Center or other concert venues, how do they find the balance of so important to the vibrance?
But it also is a sign of the vibrance of our youth expression in the city of Chicago. And I think, again, just to echo the last point that I made, I think it's a shame that we get to look at drill from a deficit perspective rather than a strength perspective. And so I think as we see this move forward,
I can't listen no more of this shit. All right, whatever. Fuck that. These people are crazy as fuck.
So far, officials with the United Center have not given a specific reason for the cancellation, which came just 2 days before the concert was set to begin. Now, the cancellation did come a few days after the United Center announced a strict no bags of any size policy specifically for the NBA Youngboy concert. Now, while fans are upset, those closest to the rapper say that safety concerns were the reason for the cancellation. NBA Youngboy, whose real name is Kentrell Deshaun Galton, is in the middle of his Make America Slime Again tour. His Chicago stop was set for tomorrow night. But yesterday, the United Center posted this on their website, only saying it had made the decision to cancel the show. CBS News Chicago reached out to the United Center to learn more about the reason for the cancellation, but representatives said there would be no further comment. NBA Youngboy has not commented on the cancellation either, but there's been plenty of online reaction, including fans expressing disappointment, some saying they had already spent money on hotels and other expenses for the show.
Hey, yeah.
The rapper's mother, Sharana Galton, posted on her Instagram saying the cancellation was due to safety concerns.
So it's nothing about, nobody wanted to come there and none of that. They canceled it for the safety of the people that really wanted to attend, to keep y'all safe from the ones that don't know how to act.
You may recall last year, an 18-year-old from Elgin was shot and killed during a violent robbery on his way to a Lil Durk concert.
So far, one modified person.
We don't know if that violence had anything to do with this cancellation. The United Center says people who purchase tickets through Ticketmaster will have their money automatically refunded. Anyone who purchased through a third-party vendor will have to contact that group. Now, NBA Youngboy's tour continues. His next tour date is on Thursday. It's set for Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. At last check, that performance is still set to go on as scheduled. We're now reporting live outside the United Center. Victor Jacobo, CBS News.
NBA, what drill rap? What kind of fucking music is that? I've never heard any of his music before. Used to live down the street from Chicago there, the United Center here. Here's the man that was beaten up at the Kansas City arena, and this is I thought this was what's his name posting on this, but apparently this is the guy Thomas, guest service lead at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri, who was assaulted by a 14-year-old boy. I can only imagine that his children probably was saying, "Don't go work, Daddy. You don't need to be out there working, concert, coming home late at night, whatever." And for 14 years, however long he worked there, he's been there quite a bit of time. I think they say 20 years or so. He was able to, pull it off there. And then along comes NBA Youngboy and his crazy rap fans and broke his nose here. And apparently the guy may need a nose job here. The 14-year-old boy, just 14-year-old, just a baby. A juvenile. He broke this NBA Youngboy. Literally broke this young man's nose here at 14. It broke this older man's nose at 14 years old. Again, I speculated earlier that earlier this week, I think blacks are having a hard time finding respectful elders. they're looking at their elders and they're saying, "Damn, this ain't nothing but an OG, like a Ernest," and they're having a hard time respecting them. Understandably so. Would you respect Ernest? He willing to go out and get a YN to kill somebody. And so in this case, I think, this kind of lack of respect for elders, it bubbles over across races. In this case, in that he did something kind of unbelievable to a very 66-year-old man. I couldn't imagine doing that, but I don't know, it's kind of amazing there. A 66-year-old man beaten up by a 14-year-old. And for those of you who say the 14-year-old man can't do a lot of damage, well, you saw a 14-year-old just break a man's nose here. 66-year-old man's nose, to be exact. So 14-year-old man can do quite a bit of damage here. But you got to ask yourself, why are these young boys getting so violent? What will make him be so violent like that? Anyway, I did a stream earlier about Cardi B. We talked about her husbands. This is Cardi B. Yeah, there it is. This is Cardi B. And at this point, she's pregnant. She's quite a bit pregnant here. And I guess she's promoting her album, and people are out here cheering on a pregnant woman with, oh, damn, I'm not even sharing. A pregnant woman with multiple children here. This is Cardi B. And that's Cardi B, a woman pregnant with another man while being married to another man. Is very interesting. I can only imagine the dynamics of that relationship, considering these guys had some sort of a relationship between the two of them. It was very interesting. Very, very interesting. What was I going to tell you? I had something in my phone. Let me put this on Twitter. Give me a second here. What was I going to put on Twitter here? Let's see. I went through the Johns Hopkins. I went through the African lady. This was what I was going to put on here. Okay. Let me put this on Twitter. Give me 1 second. So I'm right. Oh, damn. Can I see it? Twitter. Done. Let me see. Put this one. There it is. Twitter. For those of you that don't follow me on Twitter, I post a lot of stuff on Twitter. A lot of times you hear it here. You hear me talk about it here. So here's what I just posted on Twitter here. So I'm riding downtown. I told you about this earlier. Let's see if I can go home. Let's see. Where's my home? Here we go. So I'm riding downtown today. I was telling you that. So the CBC weekend is going on, and here's the CBC weekend. So I see all these dressed up people, and here they are here. So here's where they're going to the party here. This is the Park nightclub. We actually had the owner of this nightclub on the channel here, and here's all the dressed up sister gals. They headed out to a night of partying. This is the first night of CBC weekend. Well, no, it's today, Wednesday, Tuesday, second night. More or less the second. No, it's the first night. It started the 24th, so this is the first night, I think. And here are the women going into the Park nightclub here. CBC is a Congressional Black Caucus 2025. And so we'll be covering a little bit of that this week here. So I'll probably do some street interviews somewhere. See if we catch us some CBC members there. Let me put the link in the chat. Anyone want to jump up? Talk about whatever you want to talk about. The floor is open to you guys. Let me see. And while I'm doing that, while I'm waiting on someone, I'll pull up a couple links here. Here's the first one. Oh, no. Some DC local news here. I can't believe this. Check this out.
Also facing a judge today, the former deputy director of a D.C. public safety agency. She pleaded guilty earlier this year to taking a $10,000 bribe, which she describes as, quote, a lapse in judgment.
And today, Dana McDaniel was sentenced to 16 weekends behind bars, more than 3 years on probation, and 6 months on house arrest. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley is joining us live from the D.C. Bureau tonight.
Yeah, Felicia, you were in court today, and the judge said that government employees need to learn a lot.
Hey, Tropes, I'm assuming you're talking about the KC vendor. It wasn't random. He asked the guy to go to the proper seat, and that's when the guy beat him up. I'm assuming you're talking about the guy at the NBA YoungBoy concert.
Lesson, what happened?
That's right, and he said that lesson is if you're a government employee and you get involved in these pay-to-play schemes, that there will be consequences. And today, Dana McDaniel felt some of those consequences. Now, today in court, we heard for the first time why she claims she got involved in all of this. She said that she said no multiple times when she was propositioned with this bribe. She said she eventually said yes. She claims that she fell upon financial issues, but she said from the jump, she knew it was wrong.
It's a government official fell on financial hard times here. I mean, she probably make over $100,000 a year.
It's sad that someone like the confidential informant can have an influence of someone like Miss McDaniel.
Cameras were not allowed as I sat in the sentencing for former 1C director Dana McDaniel. In court,
Do you see all these? Yeah.
out as I sat in the sentencing for former 1C director.
I got a mask. Wait a minute. I know what it is. Huh.
Dana McDaniel. In court, McDaniel says she took the bribe out of panic and fear.
Obviously, Ms. McDaniel doesn't agree with the position that she sold herself for her position. Instead, it's our position that she was actually poached and that she found herself in a bad time and had a lapse of judgment and made a bad decision.
McDaniel's guilty plea, as well as Councilman Tran White's arrest, have caused...
Man, I was going to do a stream about why are these blacks still wearing masks in 2025? This shit is amazing.
Heavy scrutiny of the validity of DC's violence interrupters. White is also facing a federal charge.
That's right. We covered this guy. This guy's like 4 feet tall. He represents my district here. They caught him taking a bribe straight on camera, cash bribe. I've talked a lot about this. If you don't own a business and you want to get into the corruption, taking bribes, you're going to get caught really quickly. Someone can set you up. And in both of these cases, it appears someone set them up. And it's more or less centering around the same crime prevention agencies. These are people that provide no value there. So they're easy to get caught taking a bribe.
Daniel's former office. The office is responsible for violence prevention programs. The violence interrupters have been under a microscope since essentially her arrest, and obviously another that has a trial in January. She mentioned that she didn't want what's happening right now to taint that work as it relates to violence interrupters. And so
what they're saying here is that these violence interrupter programs, they're more or less skimming money off top by way of bribes. And they're concerned now that could affect future bribe violence prevention money here. And so this reporter is carrying the water for her.
The work that Ms. McDaniel had a heavy hand in. What are your thoughts on where that stands now and even her future in continuing to do work in the community?
I think again, there's no winners today, and this is very sad. And I think the worst part about this is those violence interrupters literally put their lives on the line like police officers, but without the badges and the guns. That they've created alliances throughout the district with different gangs and communities and neighborhoods.
As part of her plea.
No, so today I was up on CT's panel and we talking about lawyers and stuff like that. I said this is the ecosystem for black lawyers right here. Look at it, clean cut guy. He's a lawyer for this black woman, and I mentioned criminal courts. That's where the bulk of their black customers are. They can't afford a lawyer at Latham and Watkins or Wild Gottschow. They got to afford this guy. He's a low-level criminal lawyer. If blacks are going to be lawyers, they can't go to third-tier schools and then make their bread from black criminals.
And the guns, that they've created alliances throughout the district with different gangs and communities and neighborhoods.
As part of her plea to the judge to lower her sentence, McDaniel shared that right now, as I'm speaking with you, she still works in the community with at-risk as well as special needs children, and said that at least 100 of them, as well as her daughter, rely on her. Now, in court, the judge said that he did not feel that McDaniel was completely honest with everything that she did and everything that she knew, but he did say that he felt that she did learn her lesson. Now, I will be back in that same federal courthouse in January, where a council member will now face his federal trial for a bribe connected to McDaniel's same former office. Now reporting live from the D.C. Bureau, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
Thank you, Felicia. Now, you heard her just mention a January trial. That is when council member Trayon White will face a jury. He's accused of agreeing to accept tens of thousands of dollars to steer city contracts at the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. He allegedly actually received $35,000 and some kickbacks on grants. And you can find our extensive coverage on this bribery investigation and the concerns that it raises about possible corruption in D.C. on our 7 News YouTube channel.
I got this clip I want to share with you guys. Give me 1 second. Let's see. How can I do this? I thought I had it on Twitter. Oh, yeah, I can do it like that. Yeah. Give me 1 second.
It always bothered me
It's not Twitter? Oh,
as
shit.
much traffic was on that intersection.
Hold on 1 second.
Nobody saw anything.
To the west is a bank. Caddy corner is a McDonald's. If you're gonna rob someplace, I would think
Somebody
somewhere.
get robbed. All right, give me 1 minute. Let me put this. Oh, let me do it like this here. What did I say there? Oh, yeah. Take a look at this, guys. Take a look at this. I saw this shit. I was going to do a whole stream on it. I'll probably just clip this up, make it a stream in and of itself. Here, let me do this. All right, check this out. I saw this shit. I said, man, this is sad, down bad, sad. I saw this on Facebook here, and it has music. So I have to mute it out, but I'll play a little bit of music as we go here. So you know what, like the tenor of what's happening here. And let me go big screen so you can see what the fuck's going on here. Let's see. You guys see that? Let me maximize it. Oh, MLB, man, you're going to love this. If a Latino's in the audience, you're going to love this too. All right. Guys, brace yourself. Brace yourself. And I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. Man, I wish I could maximize this shit. Can I maximize this? So, oh, I might got it. Damn. Here it comes. Hold on. So what they're celebrating here, that is the first black man to take a sip of water from a white water fountain. Now that you know that, I'm going to play that again for you. So they're celebrating. This is the first white man. The fact that let me see if I can put. How can I do this? So basically, the post is the fact that iconic civil rights pioneers are still walking around chilling and posting on social media like Ruby Bridges and Cecil Williams. It really wasn't that long ago, guys, when we were drinking out of white water fountains. She's talking out of black water fountains. Cecil Williams, this guy that you see on the screen, is a guy from the iconic photo. Let me see if we can find it. Cecil Williams. Cecil Williams. Water fountain. Is that him? Yeah, there he is. So this is what they're celebrating here. You see this? This is what they're celebrating, right? You see this? Does anyone see this? They're celebrating a man who merely took a drink of water. You see it? Whites only. That's all he did. He didn't build a black water fountain. All he had to do was tap the water off that one and could have built him a black water fountain. He didn't do that. All he did was take a sip out of the white man water fountain. And for that, the blacks see him as a hero. This is one of the things I keep trying to explain to people. Like the blacks, they see themselves as more or less people who are fighting white men. And in doing so, they never even build a water fountain for themselves. Their only accomplishment is to drink from the white man's water fountain. It's just fucking amazing. It's really amazing when you see all of these black people here cheering this man on. And all he did was drink out of the white man's water fountain. He didn't build a water fountain. And so now with that in context, you've seen the picture of him. I want you to listen to these blacks just explode. And he didn't do anything. Again, all he did was drink water. He's famous now. Amazing. This is really amazing that these people are lauding a man that all he fucking did was drink water. All he did was drink water. DJ MNB, will she be disbarred? In DC, bro. I don't know. I don't know if she'll be disbarred, to be honest with you. And if she is, I mean, she's only serving weekend time. So what does that tell you? If I did that, they put me in prison daytime, weekdays. But the bigger point there is that she was selling influence again for the violence prevention program. So, but for this guy, look at him. This is his accomplishment here. He drank from the white water fountain. He does look white. He doesn't look white right there, though. But he does look white in his later age there. And you see the blacks with so little to cheer. They're cheering a man that merely drank water. That's very interesting. That is very interesting there. This is what I talk about a lot of times. The blacks really have to recognize where they are in life, honestly. If you find yourself cheering for a man that all he did was this, you really don't have much. Those are the breaks. That's what it is. No, but he looks black. His hair looks pretty coarse. He doesn't have like a white man's hair or anything. I mean, I don't know white man's hair, but what I'm typical of is a little bit looser pattern. His hair is pretty tight there. Where's the video of him? Let me see. Where's the video of him? You'll see it. No, damn, he looks kind of like Robert Kraft. He might be right. He does kind of look like Robert Kraft. But in the first picture, though, he does look black. Or not white, I should say. But in this, he does look like Robert Kraft. Man, let me tell you. I know I'm going all off topic, man. I was, Palomino, I was reading your comments, bro. And you can see nuance. And, I was checking your comments. I was like, yeah, Palomino, he's got a little something there. I don't know if you're white. I think you're a white guy, which wouldn't surprise me considering what I read from your comments, and I think you picked up on a lot of things. And I saw what you said to Sin 7 about the plane, because that is true. And as it relates to the plane, and when Bob got up here, he was in his cockpit. And I've said this before, like, bro, like, the first thing I thought was, like, don't get in any trouble. That was my first thought. A lot of people probably, yeah, do it. Let me get some content off you. I don't give a damn if you get fired. But my first thought, honestly, was like, yo, should he be filming this? I may have even said it at some point, like, yo, I don't know if he should have been filming that. So I saw your comments in the chat. Follow me on any other people's chat. I like your comments. So whenever I see your comments, I try to read, see what you're saying, scroll up sometimes, to get a good idea of what you're talking about there. And a lot of times, I'll listen to you. Sometimes I'll be, oh, okay, that's what he said about me. I need to correct this or refine that, But, this is probably as brutally honest as I can be here. Let me pull up some other content here, some things I want to respond to. This is Hakeem Jeffries. As I said, this is CBC Weekend. So Hakeem Jeffries, he should have the best. What? I gotta follow him to see it here. What? I gotta follow Hakeem Jeffries to see it. This is Hakeem Jeffries. He's gonna have the best parties. He should have the best parties. He's like the House minority. Oh, here are details. Let's see. The ABCs. Okay. Politics and Prose. Okay, he's gonna be in Politics and Prose. Few details. Oh, damn. That's November. Oh, that was last year. Damn, he hasn't done anything in a while. But anyway, so Hakeem Jeffries, he probably has some of the best parties. So I'll try to figure out where his parties are, and we'll check those out. We'll get some interesting content, see what's going on there. Let's see, what is this right here? Someone sent me this right here. Oh, yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah. All right. Let me play this.
Say that again. The Black church raises $11 billion in tithes and offering a year. If you put all of those Black churches together, they wouldn't make a Fortune 100 company. The smallest Fortune 100 company has revenues of $44 billion. That's Qualcomm. The largest Fortune 100 company is Walmart. It has revenues of $611 billion. Which means that all of these Black churches and all of these Black preachers and all of these denominations don't make a single strong American corporation. So the challenge of African American people together, as you've heard me say, the challenge is not necessarily political; it's internal unity and our ability to work together toward a meaningful outcome. So you're absolutely right. If the church isn't involved in economic impact, economic engagement, that it actually will cease to exist in the near future. The Black church raises $11 billion a year. Say that again. The Black church raises $11 billion.
It makes you wonder, like, $11 billion ain't nothing, right? You can do something with that. And so you wonder, what the hell are they doing with $11 billion a year? And one of the examples may be something like this. I saw this from Usher. Am I muted? Usher here. This is Usher talking about his shoe collection here.
Officially what I call the universe. I'm holding the universe in my hand. This is a one-of-one Jordan that was made. It has the 4 on it, your boy IV. And underneath the label, it says it's just 15 minutes. I did these right before I did the Super Bowl. I made them for my show. I didn't wear them on stage, but I still have them. They put the U logo on the back of it. Jordan, he always hooks me up. You know what I'm saying? These joints glow in the dark. It's got the glow in the dark bottom panel and the reflective, iridescent
dark shoes here.
Black here. But I call this the universe. Y'all seen this one right here. This is the one that I actually wore.
Glow in the dark shoes there. And again, a lot of these shoes, these people put a lot of value in. I've thrown people out of thousands of dollars of shoes. And I've just never gotten the whole infatuation over the shoes, but whatever. Anyway, so I saw this headline here. This is from the Daily Mail. I haven't read the Daily Mail in quite a while. Terrified 2-day-old baby girl hurled to death in Gatorfield, Mississippi River because father did not want her. Thrown to death in the Mississippi River here. A Memphis man tossed his 2 days, Jesus Christ. Damn, let me pull up, see if there is a video of this. Brandon Isabel, 28, facing first-degree murder for tossing his daughter into the Mississippi Alligator Field River here. Damn. Wait a minute, he's on trial? Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Shit. Wow.
Sungai Mississippi yang tidak berapa jam sebelumnya. Daniele Oli berusaha.
Oh, shit.
Apakah Anda bersumpah atau berjanji untuk mengatakan yang sebenarnya?
Yo, this is, wow. 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 Yo, check this shit. Hopefully this shit is in English. It's a fucking ad. Damn. Threw the baby in the river. Say you didn't want the baby, apparently.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear. And sir, if you could state your name and spell it for the jury. Last name Cline. All right. I see you're were you assigned to homicide Kennedy movements? Delivered the news to her or delivered some bad news to her? I did. I basically told her that we found her daughter's vehicle and that we had found a female that had been killed outside the vehicle. At that moment, we didn't know if it was Danielle or not, just because the identity hadn't been known to us. But I did inform Miss April that we were investigating a homicide. Did you also?
Damn. Let's see this shit. Damn. Why is this shit in Spanish? Oh, wow.
State of Tennessee, please call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. The state called Sergeant Jeremy Klein.
Sergeant Klein, come forward. Watch your step. Stand right here, face your honor, raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
Have a seat, watch your step. Sergeant Klein, speak up for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. If you could state your name and spell it for the jury and court. Sergeant Jeremy Klein, Jeramy, last name Cline. All right. I see you're carrying a gun. Where do you work? I work for Memphis Police Department in the Homicide Bureau. Were you assigned to homicide back on February 2nd of 2022? I was. And do you recall homicide involving Danielle Boyle and Kennedy? That's correct. Did you get assigned some tasks on that particular case? Yeah, my original task was to meet with April Boyle at their house.
So this is the case of a man, we showed him earlier, who threw a 2-day-old baby off a bridge into Alligator Field water in the Mississippi River.
Get as much information I can about Danielle's movements. However, when I arrived there, she wasn't there. She had changed locations over the Rain Station precinct, and that's where I ended up meeting with April Boyle. And did you have to deliver the news to her or deliver some bad news to her? I did. I basically told her that we found her daughter's vehicle and that we had found a female that had been killed outside the vehicle. At that moment, we didn't know if it was Danielle or not, just because the identity hadn't been known to us. But I did inform Miss April that we were investigating a homicide. Did you also look into an Apple Watch? I did. At some point in time, we did return back over to April's house where Danielle's Apple Watch was at. April was able to give me the Apple Watch and give me the passcode to the Apple Watch. So we brought it back to the precinct and started going through some of the past messages that was inside the watch. And you were looking for things relevant to potential homicide or disappearance of a child? That's correct. Were you able to find some things that were relevant or a text that was relevant? I did. I found a text that came in on February the 1st from a contact that was listed by Brandon. In that text, they were talking about the child Kennedy, is what it seemed like. And Brandon's basically saying that he needed to be a father to his own child and was asking for the Kennedy to be aborted. And this was like a screenshot of a message that she had.
I'm going to pass forward some photographs for the record. This defense has viewed those, and those are kind of in order. You recognize the photograph?
I do.
What do you recognize this to be?
This is a photograph of the Apple Watch that I looked through.
And there's 3 of them because we had to take 3 to get the whole message. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, if we could have this marked as the next exhibit, it's a collective.
Collective exhibit number 13.
Can't be a father to the kid, right?
If you could,
Shit.
also zoom in on that a little bit.
And he got text message.
If you could read this for me.
It says, I can't be a father to the kid right now, Danielle, and I don't want to put you through that. I have to be a father to my first child. I haven't been doing that. I don't want you to go through what you're going through with Riyadh not being around twice. You deserve better than what I've been doing to you. If you love me like you say you do, then let's end this mistake, Danielle. Let's talk to these doctors tomorrow and let's both hear them and have them understand where we're
Wow, so at this point, he's asking her to get an abortion now.
coming from. I got to sit.
And
Yeah.
we have the next one here. We can zoom in on that. I think you stopped it. I got to sit.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now. Like, I got to sit back and find myself with no distractions. Like, for real. I got to find me.
If you could just go to the third one, I think it has. There we go.
Yeah, this says, Brandon, bye. Just stop texting me and go about your business. I don't need you and talking to them. They still not going to do it. I'm going on 5 months now.
All right.
So it sounds like what she's saying is like, it's too late to get an abortion. I'm 5 months now. So he's asking her to get an abortion at 5 months. Wow. You know, I think I've had damn, we should do a stream on that. What's the latest you should be able to get an abortion? This guy, at least he was willing to go 5 months here. Very interesting. And it may have been for the better here. They end up killing the baby here.
Sergeant Clown said the only things that you could find that were relevant within the Apple Watch.
Yes, sir.
Did you consider or think about trying to download or dump the entirety of the watch?
At the time, Memphis Police Department did not possess the technology to be able to extract the messages from the watch the way we had, and I don't think we were in possession of Danielle's phone.
All right. And is that everything that you did with respect to this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No further questions, Judge.
Go ahead, please.
I'm not sure to who or from, but when it was retransmitted, the date of the transmission was February 1st, 2022.
That wasn't the date that it originated, was it?
That I won't know when it actually originated.
Let me, I'm confused. The 2/1/22, was that on the watch?
That was the day that the transmission of that snapshot was sent. So basically, the way it works is this was a screenshot of a text message between Brandon and who I'm assuming would be Danielle. From that text message, it was retransmitted to whom, I don't know, but it's retransmitted on the 1st, showing that mark, that conversation.
So we wouldn't know when that first text message came in. You don't have any evidence of when that first text message.
Reading the text message, I would imagine about 5 months along. Danielle was pregnant about 5 months along.
That would be your correct milestone, wouldn't it?
Correct.
Now, you were involved with Artisha as well, Artisha Stewart?
I don't recall. I might have been, but I don't recall.
And that's a sloppy looking police detective. Jeez.
Did you help with the interrogation of Artesia Stewart?
At this time, if I did, I took notes. I don't have those notes in front of me. And I do not recall.
Case coordinator here, that wasn't you, was it?
That was not me.
That was Jacoba Boyd.
That's correct.
And would you tell the jury, please, what a case coordinator is?
Basically, case coordinator, or what we also refer to as lead investigator, he is the person who is in charge to make sure certain tasks are done within the case. He will assign people to do things for the case, or he himself has to ensure that they get done, such as search warrants, supplements, basically keeping the notes of the case and to make sure that it is moving forward and that we're progressing to make charging the suspect in the crime.
So he's kind of up here, and the people he's giving things to do are down below him, and he's giving them tasks.
Well, yes, sir. In a sense, yes, sir.
And those people that he gives tasks oftentimes write reports and send them to him.
That is correct.
And he makes decisions based on that.
Correct.
No other questions, thank you, sir.
Any redirect from the state?
There you are.
Thank you, sir. You may step down.
Damn, so that was the detective that involved in the case here. Wow, that was reading the text message. The guy wanted her to have an abortion at 5 months. Jesus Christ. For those of you that follow Philadelphia politics, I do. Philadelphia is a very interesting city. It's a very largely black city. But, I think there's Larry Krasner, someone in charge of the DA there. And there have been quite a few killings that kind of make you scratch your head about the outcome to them. And so here is an event in Philadelphia. And what you find interesting is it's at a church. And here's this.
You're not coming in. You're not coming in. Simple as that. You're not coming into our sacred spaces. You're not coming in. You're not coming in. You're not coming in.
Why not? Why can't I come in? Because I said you're not. This is Larry Krasner's town hall at Mother Bethel Church at Society Hill. You're not coming in our sacred spaces. Where are you? Where were you yesterday? You're not coming in our sacred space, as simple as that. Because I said you're not coming in. I'm saying you're not coming in. You have no right to tell You're not coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're not coming in our sacred space.
What
You'll
you
see what it is. I don't care. You'll see what it means to come up in here. You're going to see what it means.
He said don't threaten people. Don't threaten people, he said.
Here's this white guy trying to attend a public meeting. For whatever reason, the public meeting is being held in a black church here. He's going to explain that he was not allowed inside of the event. I think they later let him in, but the black guys, the elder church members there were blocking the door there, preventing him from coming in.
The event, they denied us entry. They have a human wall. They have the blue wall.
That's for a deputy there, where they were trying. Well, this guy's trying to go to a meeting, and the DA, who's under a lot of fire, he says, "Hey, you know what? These people, the black people, will be allowed to bar the guy from coming in." Here's Jasmine Crockett.
I talk to black folk all the time, and somebody.
I wonder what CBC events with Jasmine Crockett. I have to look this shit up. Let me go.
I talk to black folk all the time, and somebody that's a child of a preacher. Listen, most black people are not Republicans simply because we just is like, y'all racist. I can't hang out with the KKK in them. That's really what it is. But
I've heard that before. I've heard someone else say that before. I'm not quite sure who. Someone out there remind me here.
when we think about who we are as black people and we think about where we come from, most black people have very conservative values, right? But the reality is that like we just can't side with like the neo-Nazis in them. We're not dealing with y'all like that, right? I talk to black folk all the time, and somebody that's a child of a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, most
I've heard that shit before. That shit must be on a electric newsletter, e-newsletter that they all have. I'm looking to see if she's gonna be having any events. Yes, are they gonna be at CBC Roundup? Ilhan Omar is a member of the CBC. Okay, that's perfect. Jasmine Crockett, CBC. Gotta be something this weekend. Gotta be something on YouTube. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh, it shouldn't even start yet. You mean they have nothing? And their event has started already? What? Okay, maybe this is it. Yes. They haven't even started talking about this shit. Okay, here's something.
Web events in Washington, D.C. this week, and a happy CBC week, y'all. As always, the full lineup for the week is in my newsletter, and this week we have over 40 events for y'all. Firstly, we have the annual legislative conference from the 24th to the 28th. If you're not able to make it to the actual conference, there are still tons of opportunities to network and meet new people. 2, we have the Umbrella Photo Fair. This will be filled with lots of work by DMV photographers and is always really great to support. 3, we have Fiesta DC, which is a 2-day festival celebrating Latino culture. 4, we have the annual Black Women in Project Management Conference.
Wait a minute, they have celebrating Latino culture? Okay.
3-course meal, food and wine pairing to meet new people and make new friends. Now, there are a lot of...
All right, so Thursday night, Chinatown Park. After 5, a Gen Z happy hour at Mission DuPont. Okay. Remy Martin and Senator Nick Charles present CBC Welcome at 1942. Okay, I know what that is. CBC Sunsets at Space DC. Okay, I know what that is. Margarita House at Art DC, Arlo Hotel. I can find that. Great Energy Group presents Welcome to DC Reception. Wait, she didn't. Oh, that's Thursday. It's only Thursday. Let me see if I get on her mailing list here. Well, let's see what she says.
Other events. Like I said, there are over 40 events for this week. So for the full lineup, you can find it in my Substack newsletter, links in my bio. High Vibe events in Washington, D.C. this week. And a happy...
All right, so that's CBC weekend. Those are the events that they're having, whatever. Anyway, so we try to make some of these events, see what they're having here. Maybe get some street interviews. Should be interesting there. See what they do. Oh, what is this? Damn, I think. Does she not know that? Oh, bro, this is a party weekend. And that's what I'm going to highlight to you. I showed it to you here. CBC weekend, bro. It's the best time to be in DC, honestly, if you're black or if you like hanging around black people here. This was CBC. I was riding down 14th Street this weekend. Today. Shit, what did I say this weekend? Today, this is what's going on here in DC. I'll blow up the pictures for you. This is outside the Park nightclub. The owner of this club, I interviewed him briefly on the stream here. His name is Mark Barnes. You can find him there. And here's some lovely ladies heading into the Park nightclub here. And what else we have in here? Here are some the lovely ladies heading into the Park nightclub here. And here's the sign that they have set up. CBC 2025. So this may be the headquarter party location for them. And it's one of my favorite clubs, I will say, Park nightclub. Mark Barnes, my nigga. Let me see if I pull that clip up. Mark Barnes, my nigga. Mark Barnes, yeah. And this is the owner of the club here.
Yeah. You just want to run me off or something? You think I'm gonna take all the bitches, yo? You think if you bring a bitch around here, she gonna leave with me?
What is this idiot talking about?
She just might. She might, man.
This would be great for the overnight.
Hey guys, yo, hold on for a minute. We have someone very important right here. This is at DC's premier club. Been here for like 20 years. I've been going to this guy's club for like 20 years here. And what's your name here?
Mark Barnes.
Mark Barnes. What's the name of the club?
The Park at 14.
How long you been here, my man?
17 years.
And before you were here, you were where? Republic God. That was my favorite.
Z Club, Coca Loco,
No, it was
Wrigley's.
nothing like Republic Garden, though, bro. There was nothing like. You made magic right there. You know that, right?
Everybody says that in every age group. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? The
Man,
people
you
that
made
went to
magic
line-
right there, bro. You made some shit. I mean, I remember leaving your club one night, and Prince was in line to walk in, bro.
He wasn't
No
in
lie.
line, but he might have been coming.
He was coming in. Terrell
That the
Owens,
guy?
man,
He like,
right
you
there
got the
on
wrong
14th,
club.
right there on
Okay.
13th and
Oh,
U.
you talking
Republic
about
Garden.
Republic Garden. Okay.
I mean, I don't think you ever had the magic like Republic Garden, man. That was like something
You
special.
ain't
man.
spending enough time to drink.
Oh, I went there, Jerry, but Republic was cozy, man. Republic was very cozy. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is Mark Barnes, owner of the Parking 14 nightclub. What, 2 blocks up from the White House, right? 2 blocks. 2 blocks up from the White House.
Damn.
My man, Mark. Hey, I think I saw you, man. I said, let me run up to him and see if I can get him on camera 1 minute. I mean, you know, I've been following you for years. You know that. Thank you very much. Again, you're on the urban landlord, man. I'm John Galt.
Get away, motherfucker. You're on
And there's Stanley, of course, interrupting, of course. But today's the central location for the CBC events, as you can see by the little setup there. So we'll be covering some of those events all week, 24th through the 28th. Hopefully, we'll get some good interviews there. I'll put the link in the chat one more time. If you guys haven't gone to bed, I'll entertain some conversation here. So I'll give you guys 5 minutes or so. What else? So Monday night, even questions may have gone to bed. What else do we have here?